I'm inspired this morning to talk about conscious contact, and specifically making conscious contact through meditation. But yoga, and specifically meditation, can do wonders for anxiety. It can really, really bring a calmness into our mind and into our body. It calms the nervous system, and it's a great tool. For me personally, without conscious contact with the source of all that is, I know right now at this age I probably would be suffering from a lot of illnesses, and my health is really good. My energy levels are really, really good. Don't take medication. I do take a medication for low thyroid, which I'm working on. I plan to kind of release that as well. But I know for certain, without a willingness and openness to continue to have conscious contact with the source of all that is, I know for certain that my health on all levels would be suffering right now. I was inspired to do this talk this morning on conscious contact, making conscious contact, what that means, and how meditation plays a part in that. So I just jotted down a few things that I'm going to kind of quickly go through so I can get back to just talking in the flow. Making conscious contact happens to be the 11th step in the 12-step program. The 12-step program now is not only for alcoholics, but codependents, people that drug issues, weight issues, you name it, there's a 12-step program for it, because they're great steps. And so when I was thinking about making this video, I thought of the 12-step program, and I hadn't thought about that in connection to conscious contact, but kind of in contemplating a little bit about what I wanted to share in this video, that did come to me, the 11th step. And the 11th step is sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will and for the power for us to carry that out. And that leads into step 12, which is, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we carry this message to others and to practice these principles in all our affairs. So, and the 12 steps have been around, gosh, I don't know what year they began. I should know that, but I don't. They've been around a long time. So, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God. And that leads to a spiritual awakening. So thinking about that, I asked myself, what is it that I want to share about my personal experience of conscious contact? And how I would sum that up would be, to me, conscious contact is an inner knowing through direct experience that brings us into vibrational harmony with the source of all that is. And it's from that place of making conscious contact through an inner knowing, through direct experience, that brings a vibrational harmony with the source of all that is, that allows us to become open channels. Open channels where we heal ourselves first, and from that healing of ourselves, we're an open channel, and that vibrational harmony of the source of all that is flows through us. So it's not that we become healers ourselves, but we become an open channel for the source of all that is to flow through us. And that's what heals. That's what heals anything it comes in contact with. So that's my definition, my personal awareness and experience of what conscious contact is. So as I was contemplating about this, I thought, well, it's one thing to intentionally kind of through meditation, through yoga, through spiritual disciplines, use those disciplines to make conscious contact. I think it's also helpful to understand that we have different levels of consciousness. We have the subconscious, things we aren't aware of that are hidden. They're kind of hidden from us, but at the same time they're being played out in our lives, but we aren't aware of it. So we have the subconscious. We have the conscious mind. This is our everyday awareness. What gets hidden in the subconscious mind is whatever we have not integrated from our past. Most of us are acting out what is hidden in our subconscious as a way to bring these hidden parts of ourselves into our conscious awareness. So that's, in our everyday functioning, I'm sure most of us have experienced what I would call a trigger, where something happens in the present day moment that triggers something that's in our subconscious, something that we aren't aware of, and so we have a reaction. And sometimes it doesn't feel that great, but it's really beautiful. It really is, because these are opportunities to bring what's hidden into our awareness. We're such beautiful creatures. Everything works in such a wonderful, harmonious way if we allow it. And then we also have our higher conscious mind. This is the observer of ourselves, what Gary Zukav would call the seat of the soul. And from this higher consciousness, it is being the observer of ourselves. We're able to see the whole picture of things. We're able to observe ourselves in this play of life. So we have those three different levels of consciousness, and I think that's really helpful to be aware of that, these different levels of consciousness, especially when we practice meditation. To be aware that we have these different levels of consciousness, and to apply the spiritual discipline of meditation to allow what's hidden in the subconscious mind to surface, to rise up into our awareness, into our conscious mind. At the same time, we're connecting to our higher consciousness, our higher self, which creates space in the conscious mind to bring up what's hidden from us. And ideally, through consistent meditation, using that spiritual discipline, we start to integrate. We start to integrate our subconscious with our conscious, with our higher conscious, with our higher self. And these things come into alignment, into integration, which brings us into a wholeness. And from that place of wholeness, we're able to tap into, to me, which is the source of all that is. We become open channels for the source of all that is to create through us. And it's once this starts to happen, it's kind of once we make that conscious contact, and this creativity starts to pour through us, being open channels. All we need to do at that point is to discern what's our tool of sharing. What are our unique gifts and abilities that become the form or the container of creation to come through us? Because we need a form, we need a container to bring it into the physical. For me, it's my passion for writing, my passion for art, for music, for communication. These are the forms and the containers that creative source comes through this open channel. And we all have our unique gifts and abilities. So there's all kinds of reasons, great, wonderful reasons to practice meditation. And this because I think there's so many misunderstandings about spiritual disciplines, about spirituality itself. One of them is this idea of transcendence. And a lot of people practice meditation with the idea of being able to transcend. Sometimes I wonder what it is they are trying to transcend, or what it is they mean by transcendence. And at some point, if I get a chance, I'll start asking that question, because I'm curious. Not in a judging way, but in a curious. I'm curious, what is your experience of this? So to me, meditation and making conscious contact with the source of all that is, we can experience transcendence. But something I want to bring awareness about is that transcendence is not an out-of-body experience. I personally don't want to transcend my body experience. I'm here, a spiritual being, having a human experience. And I do that through this form, this physical form. It's aligning soul awareness and body awareness. And to me, it is that simple. Aligning soul awareness with body awareness. And integrating those two, creating a communication between our body awareness and our soul awareness. That's how we get traction in our lives. That's how we make a difference. So for me personally, I have no desire to transcend my physical form. I have a desire to have my soul fully incarnated in this physical form, and have the awareness of that, and to be guided by that. So that's a little bit about conscious contact. So I would be really, really curious as to your experience with meditation. What is your experience in making conscious contact? What does that mean to you? So I hope you have a wonderful day.